Joe Starbuck's husband is playing very good football at the moment, Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah, she used to sit in the booth with us when we did Pittsburgh games, remember?
Yes.
And prayed for her husband to do well, which he usually did.
Our ace production direction crew, Mr. Hilton and Mr. Grossman, did the super skates. You know it's going well. Starbuck, Pearson, about 8. Berge made the tackle, but he had all day to throw.
And the only pressure he got was from Logan, 41, the safety man, who blitzed. Nobody else even showed, and Roger had about 8 seconds to make his decision. Watch the left part of your screen. You may see a little penetration. The 3-man rush isn't going to get there. A little bit by Bigfoot Harrison as Logan has blitzed, but is really not putting much on. Guess who's open?
The NFL's leading quarterback. Second down, Dallas. And here is Laidlaw. Struggling for 2 or 3 before Berge again led the Eagle defense.
They call him the Berg. But number 66 was expensive. 2 number 1s and a number 2 to Cincinnati. But you can't start with a defense without having somebody, a quality player at middle linebacker for you.
He took on the block by Pat Donovan.
He can really dance.
Solid style.
At 240 pounds, he can disco. He's a very quick guy.
Good speaker, too, I hear.
Not bad.
Third and short. He'll have the Cowboy first down as he swings left before he's tackled by Drew Mihalek with some more help.
This is the play that killed the Green Bay Packers up in Milwaukee that day. I remember the linebacker, Jimmy Carter, after the game said they pulled everybody, and it looked like Landry included, came around the end trying to make the corner.
Bigfoot has hurt his shoulder. Harrison.
It's a big shoulder, too.
The Browns 17, the Jets 3. Cleveland's record is 7-7. They still have a mathematical chance to make it to the playoffs. Jets 8-6 going into that game. Dorsett from the eye gets a couple, and that's all. Randy Logan, the first Eagle to make contact. It's 14-7. The Cowboys picked up a fumble and went in 3 plays from 5 yards out, and then Dorsett went in from 16 yards out after a pass interception by Benny Barnes. Hogan got the Eagle touchdown.
Staubach is 5 for 7 for 40 yards, and the TD, the screen pass to Dorsett. He is having an excellent year and getting stronger as the season goes.
With 2 bad fingers on his passing hand.
That's right.
But there's Billy Joe Dupree and caught the ball right there. Frank LeMaster was the Eagle defender, but Roger Staubach had the ball just stuck on Billy Joe Dupree's shoulder pad.
What a great player, though, out of Michigan State, where he said if you didn't play team football for Duffy Daugherty, he ran you off. Dupree now with his 33rd catch. He's got 9 touchdown pass catches this year and is as good a blocker at tight end as most tackles are.
Dallas at the Eagle 42. Dorsett trying to cut back, and Berge cuts him off.
And you know how linebackers are. They're really nasty people, you know what I mean? And Berge loves to play against somebody like Dorsett, who not only has publicity, but great credentials, and is a superb player. What's 66? You think he doesn't enjoy that, and that feels good to a linebacker.
Dorsett just barely got back to the line of scrimmage, so we'll make it 2nd and 10. 8:35 left in the first half. Dallas up by a touchdown. Roger Staubach has 1 lone setback, and now he has 2. It'll be Dorsett again. It's Berge again.
If you're not nasty, you can't be a linebacker. And Berge, while he's a nice guy, is sort of nasty and belligerent. And even during practice sessions, there's a lot, you know, with the your own people. 66 really likes to play football.
You can be nice and nasty at the same time. 6 out of 8, 56 yards for Roger. We should see the shotgun again. We do. John Fitzgerald with the one-handed no-look snap. Staubach looking for some place to go. Cannot find it.
That's the third sack. And Bigfoot Harrison finally made the clincher. LeMaster was in there. And that time, Preston Pearson stayed in to pick up the blitz and help. Watch to the right of your screen now. Pearson will come back in to help with Scott and company. And Harrison's going up the middle, and here comes Carl Harrison from the other side. Now watch Bigfoot. My heaven, that's 280 pounds on top.
And LeMaster around the feet. Andy White's third punt of the day. Angling for the sideline away from Shara. And it goes into the end zone. Benny Barnes down close to it, but it bounced away from him. So with 6 minutes, 57 seconds left to play in the first half at Philadelphia, it's the Dallas Cowboys 14, the Eagles 7.
Owens Corning built these 3 houses at its research center in Ohio.
Develop a better way, a system that plows, fertilizes, and plants in a single step.
The Eagles have the football with 6 minutes, 57 seconds left to play in the first half. They trail 14-7.
Well, the yardage is incredible. Dallas 42 yards rushing, Eagles 46. 56 yards passing for Dallas and 54 passing for the Eagles.
It's snowing in New England, which comes as no great shock, I'm sure. And the score is tied 7-7. Patriots in Buffalo. Montgomery on first down cuts back toward the middle before Ed Jones cuts him off. But he got 6 or 7.
Eagle offensive center Guy Morris has really improved. Guy made a mistake a year ago of coming back thinking he'd play at 240 and be quicker. Went back to 255 and plays much better football. Against those kind of people, you can't be undernourished, I'll tell you that.
Second and 3. Carmichael split wide to the right. Jaworski brings it back to Montgomery, who gets around the outside and squirms for about 5 extra yards. With Harris and Mike Hegman, the Cowboy tacklers.
Now, there are running backs that are graceful and make the dip and all that. Not Wilbert Montgomery. He likes to cut back inside after you've overcommitted yourself. And this time he stretches it out. You can see the good block on Henderson. And Wilbert really likes it like this, where he can glance off of helmets and shoulder pads and go forward. He's tough.
5'10", 195. 7 carries for 35 yards. The Redskins have tied the Falcons in the second quarter. So it's 7-7 at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta.
Riggins scored from 7 yards out.
First down, Eagles. And Montgomery gets to work again. This time he is wrestled to the ground by D.D. Lewis and some other helpers.
It's a good thing that Wilbert likes it tough, because that's the way it is playing the Cowboys. Watch D.D. go low and watch the big arm come across the top. Ooh. Somebody called?
You must answer. Second and 7 it'll be for the Eagles at their own 37. Less than 5 minutes left to play in the first half now. Up on one side, and Jaworski drops. Outside Montgomery. Ball is loose. I believe Dallas has it. Yes, they do. Cliff Harris. Montgomery had the pass come loose, and Harris got it back for Dallas.
The only receiver on the right side was Harold Carmichael, and Charlie Waters has him man-to-man. This time Waters came up and hit Carmichael, so Jaworski dumps it off to the in-between man running the fan, and Wilbert gets hit and just coughs it up. Waters made him fumble it, and here comes Cliff over the top. Dallas is really alert today. They are quick.
The ball comes loose. They're close. It'll be first down, Cowboys at the Eagle 40. Master gets down to the 3-point stance in the line. The fake is to Dorsett. Staubach chased and has to throw it. And Berge knocks Laidlaw out of bounds after the pass was low.
A few Eagles go over to convoy Berge back to the middle of the playing field. I have a feeling these two teams don't think there is a tomorrow.
They never have been very fond of each other, have they?
Big pressure by Mihalik. I think Roger might have been throwing that one away. That looked like a Roger Staubach unload.
Jets trying to come back against the Browns in Cleveland. 17-10 that score now. Second down. Eagles blitz. Draw play goes to Laidlaw, and Frank LeMaster runs right into Laidlaw and takes him down.
You know what Cowboy got both fumbles? Cliff Harris. Washita Baptist. He was a free agent. They caught on the films, Landry and Gil Brandt and company. They were looking at somebody else, and they said, who's that kid, that skinny kid making all the tackles? And they end up with Cliff Harris.
They got Waters, Harris, and Mark Washington all the same year. Waters was a quarterback.
About the same way, yeah.
Third down 9 the Cowboys need for a first. They're out of field goal range considerably. Intended for Drew Pearson. Knocked down by Herman Edwards.
Let's see where the pressure comes. Clark's in the middle. Here comes Bigfoot Harrison. And at 6'8", he jumped and almost got some pressure on Roger Staubach and pretty well covered on the sidelines. Was that Herm Edwards?
It was Edwards. He made perhaps the most famous fumble recovery of the year.
Against the New York Football Giants?
The last play of the game when they were in a position to just run out the clock, they fumbled. Edwards picked it up, and the Eagles beat the Giants 19-17. They haven't forgotten that in New York. White trying to get it out of bounds. Henderson down there trying to knock it back, and it gets away from him. Into the end zone, they'll take it at the 20. Danny White just stands back and looks. I thought the Cowboys might have been in motion, but no flag is dropped. 14-7. Dallas leads. Shadows cover almost the entire field now, and believe me, it is hard and frozen. It's like playing in the parking lot, even though it's artificial turf. Nothing. Green Bay and Chicago. I told you before, it was 4 degrees this morning in Chicago. Packers don't mind that. Hogan struggles for 3 or 4 over the right side of the Dallas defense. D.D. Lewis led him.
Running at Bethea and Larry Cole a little bit, probably too occasionally, just trying to pick if there is somewhere you might run at 76 with Harvey Martin out. We have not been told what the injury was to last year's most valuable player in the Super Bowl, Harvey Martin.
Did not look like it was his knee, though.
Like the bell had really been rung.
2:50 left to play in the first half. 2nd and 6, Philadelphia. Their own 24, Jaworski gives to Hogan again. Charlie Waters read it perfectly and met him in the hole. The report we have now on Harvey Martin was that he was hit in the stomach and upset some things.
He was hitting the groin. By the way, Jaworski is 4 for 6 for 59 yards, and this should be his 7th attempt, I would imagine.
He has Wilbert Montgomery behind him. Everybody else will be headed out for a pass. He rolls right. Chased by Brunig. Throws. Incomplete. He might have stepped out of bounds before he let it go.
Looked like Dr. J. He did a hang job right on the sidelines and got the pass off.
I thought it was Harry Gilmer. Leaping passer from Alabama.
Okay, formerly with the Rams out of Youngstown State, and he has been Vermeil's quarterback. And I'll tell you, he's really been a very good, complete quarterback this year.
Michelle back to punt for the Eagles, and Butch Johnson standing alone for Dallas.
Ooh.
Good kick from Michelle. Chases Johnson deep, very deep. He signals for a fair catch, and the Cowboys will take over at their own 32.
Boy, it's getting slick.
Yeah.
Number 53, Dennis Franks, going down to cover, stopped and looked like the rope.
Roger Staubach remains the Dallas quarterback. Dallas needs to win one of the last two games that they have to assure themselves of being the host for the playoff game the last weekend of the year. The Eagles still with playoff aspirations. Dorsett. Drew Mahalik right on top of it.
And a solid tackle. Boy, there's a chance on an icy surface you might get a little timid. That time Mahalik measured him and made a tough one. They're in a hurry-up formation. This is a very quick replay. It's just loop to Dorsett, hoping you'll miss two tackles.
They're in good position. Staubach gets away from one Eagle. And now it's going to take off and goes out of bounds. Carl Hairston in pursuit.
And Bigfoot Harrison made a big pass rush again and almost had Roger for a loss. I tell you, for a guy 6'8", number 68 can flat get at it.
Tom Landry, as is his procedure lately. Look how big that number 68. 6'8", 280.
He goes to a banquet, he eats 4 chickens.
Third and 5. Clock continues to run, and shotgun operation. Staubach is going to throw a screen in the middle to Preston Pearson, and does, and he'll be just shy of a first down, I believe. John Sciarra came up to make the tackle. It is a Dallas first down.
I'll tell you, he is some player, though. Preston Pearson comes in on that situation where you know he's going to catch it, and he can hide behind his own people or behind one of your people and come out and catch it and just gets the first down. But he knew where he was, didn't he?
Exactly. Started to say a minute ago that Tom Landry has followed the same procedure in recent weeks of how to get plays to Roger Staubach. He calls them all. He shuttles his guards, Rafferty and Lawless. Right now it's Rafferty, number 64, that's in the game. We'll be in El Paso.
Taco time.
Maryland and Texas, December the 23rd. Hope they're ready for us.
Getting our boots on, heading south.
The Peach Bowl in Atlanta. Purdue against Georgia Tech. Two of collegiate football's best players, Eddie Lee Ivory of Georgia Tech and Purdue's quarterback Mark Herman, already being talked about for next year's Heisman. And then the Cotton Bowl, Notre Dame, Houston.
Montana can play, too, the quarterback for Notre Dame.
Houston's record 9-2 in the Southwest Conference. Notre Dame 8-3.
Roger is 8 for 12 for 61 yards and a touchdown. And you know, at Navy, his percentage completion was 62% as a collegian. He just hangs above 58 or 60% all the time. Those are his numbers.
It's the best there is this year.
If I had to clone somebody as a quarterback, it would be number 12.
Dorsett. And Dorsett out of bounds, pursued by John Sciarra. But how about turning a fumble into a near first down for Dallas?
Incredible. And watch the bottom of your screen as Preston Pearson makes the big block. Here's the Carl Hairston's the one that's making the big rush. Hits Roger in the back. It's tipped, and here comes number 33 out with it. Now watch Preston Pearson make the good block right there that allows number 33 to make it look like a pretty easy play.
It'll be second down, Cowboys, with 12 seconds left to play before the half. Does he get credit for a rush with that? I guess he does.
Yeah, it never hit the ground, so it was a handoff, huh?
Shotgun Dallas. Eagles take a blitz, low snap. Staubach has to come out. Slips away from one Eagle. Throws to Tony Hill. This will be the last play of the first half. Flag is down, and a half cannot end with a flag down on the field. Let's see what it is.
Tony Hill had the first down when he first caught the ball, and as we've said afterward, he begins to turn it into a long gainer.
Depending upon who it's against, we might see him head for the locker room, or we might see him run another play. They go to the locker room.
He's clipping on Dallas, huh?
A sellout crowd in Philadelphia has watched the Eagles hang in there after falling back behind Dallas 14-0 early. Could be a lot worse.
With all the turnovers, they could be down by 21.
One more half to go, and Dallas up by a TD. I sort of got the impression, Tom, that the defense ignited the Eagles a little bit.
Well, it's hard for me to believe that the Cowboys can get 3 turnovers and not get more than the 14 points. I know that doesn't, really reflect on what the defense has done, but I agree with you. I think that the aggressiveness of Marion Campbell is the one that's the defensive coach here in Philadelphia, my old teammate, and they really attack you on defense, and I agree with you. I think they've given the offense a chance to get back in the game.
Speaking of your old teammate, it's been since 1961 in Philadelphia that they have had a game of this magnitude, of this importance, this late in the year.
Yeah, that's true. That's a credit to Dick Vermeil, though. The first thing he did when he came in from UCLA and the West Coast Beverly Hills Hotel was to make a trade. He sent Charlie Young to Los Angeles and got Ron Jaworski, and Vermeil said, I must have a class quarterback, and we're going to stop giving away people for bad draft choices. And I think Vermeil and Jimmy Murray have a big draft coming up, and they think they can really build a team the way Dallas has done.
Even more to their credit, the job that they've done, and I think they have the biggest coaching staff in the NFL.
It's a lot of them. 9.
They have one first-round draft choice that they took.
Well, that's Jerry Sizemore, and they gave up 2 number 1s and a 2 to get Berge. But the way Dallas did it was get the good people, stockpile, and get those good drafts all in that good year. And the college crop is going to be good. And I think the Eagles have 5 of the first 100 players picked this next time for the first time since '73.
Let's take a look at some of the scores. There are very, very important games going on around the league today. So we'll do that a little bit later. Right now, let's pause for this word from your local station.
Sunday, it's the 3rd annual Circus of the Stars. Join...
Okay, back live in New York. I'm Brent Musburger. Let's get you up to date now on all of the scores. Of course, the game you're watching at half, Dallas leads Philadelphia 14-7. The New York Giants, whom Jimmy the Greek says will undergo a major shakeup at the end of the season, which really can't surprise you, but the Giants are playing very well for John McVay today, shutting out the Cardinals at the half. Washington, Atlanta, a fierce defensive game with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first half. Buffalo and New England. The Bills scored first. New England tied them. Then Chuck Knox's team kicked a field goal. And you know, Knox's Buffalo Bills have been playing quite well this year. The New York Jets and Cleveland. The Browns lead it by a touchdown. Walt Michaels' Jets have battled their way back in. Matt Robinson hit Harper for a touchdown pass. In the cold in Chicago, Green Bay battling for that playoff spot. They are tied right now in the first quarter. And what would a Sunday be without a gadget player? We showed you a lot of flea flickers, and Jane, you said the gadget of today was down in Atlanta. Is that right?
Yes, a fake punt, but the gadget is no good unless it works. This one absolutely worked. He was all out in the open. Washington and Atlanta. The fake punt comes. Mike Bragg passes it. Washington has a 56-yard play hitting Terry Anderson. He beats the tackle, but they don't go in from the 5-yard line, so they settle for a 21-yard field goal, and the Skins lead 10-7.
George Allen would have never called a fake punt. He's much more conservative than that. They couldn't find it on the old films. All right, the game that you're watching has featured some very entertaining plays. I've watched this one sequence over and over, and I really think that Harold Carmichael thought the play was dead. That's the way he reacted over on the sideline. Watch and see if you don't agree with me. Jaworski hits him, he rolls, he thinks he's down right there, and indeed he might have been. I'm not so sure now after looking at it again. Cliff Harris, meanwhile, said, I'll take whatever I can get, and he got back to the 5-yard line. Here's Scott Laidlaw. Magnificent blocking by the left side of the Cowboy line, and in they go. Now here, they're going to burn Jaworski bad on this one. This is good defensive work by Benny Barnes. Underthrew his man, stepped up in, comes back down inside that 10-yard line. When you go on the attack with your defense, you can really turn it loose against teams. Watch Tony Dorsett fake the block, slide left. Screen is set up just beautifully over there on that side for Tom Landry, and it was 14-0. But the Eagles have met a team with a little true grit, and demonstrating it is the big man, Harold Carmichael. In the hole in the zone, busts about 2 tackles and gets down to the 6-yard line. And Mike Hogan was able to go in, and then with the extra point, of course, you've watched it all, 14-7. And Irv, how about the Giants today?
Brent, up in the middle lines, the Giants lead the St. Louis Cardinals by a score of 10-0 at halftime. And both teams have records of 5 wins and 9 losses are simply playing for respectability. And it was the Giants who got the action started early first in the first quarter as rookie Dan Durnack blast up the middle for 16 yards, set up a field goal, and the Giants got it. A few plays later, Randy Dean rolling out here, hits Gary Shirk for a touchdown, and the Giants took a 10-0 lead. The Cardinal offense has just been bogged down in the first half. Hart here throwing the ball upfield gets hit. Bob Young catches the ball. He's an eligible receiver. That play doesn't count. The Giants lead at halftime by a score of 10-0.
Young wanted to run with it, though, didn't he?
That's right. Big guys always do.
Guy in that line. Let me show you what went on before the gadget play that Jane just showed you down in Atlanta. Washington and Atlanta. Jack Pardee ripped into the Redskins this week, and he needed his kickoff man, Mark Mosley, to push the return man out. You watch now as Atlanta is coming back up with Dennis Pearson. Swings to the outside. Looks like he's got an alley, but here comes Mosley. And he uses that sideline so very well right there. There was interference, 1st and goal, Bartkowski to stand back, 7-0 after the extra point. Now here is Joe Theismann bringing the Redskins back, getting good protection, hitting Danny Buggs to the 1-yard line, and then it was John Riggins smashing across for the touchdown, and then of course the gadget play and the field goal. So as we look at the scoreboard, the Giants up on the Cardinals right now by a score of 10-0. I guess the key there is that even though Bud Wilkinson really brought the Cardinals back this year, he has been decimated by injuries. It started before the season began, and even now he's without some of his key weapons. Whenever the Cardinals play the Giants, the one man they love to have on the field is Mel Gray. He had an incredible string of touchdown passes going against the Giants, but not playing today because of an injury. And if there's time after the game, we'll bring you up to date and show you highlights from around the league. But right now, let's send you back to Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia.
Halftime at Philadelphia. Dallas 14, the Philadelphia Eagles 7. The Eagles still fighting for a playoff spot. Dallas, of course, the NFC Eastern champion. The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. Neither team has made it back to the field yet.
Do you blame them for that?
Heck no. I don't know what the chill factor is now. What was it when we started? +6, you said?
+6, and we figured it's 0 by now, and you and I have both put our coats on, and I think it might be a big factor. I think there'll be a lot of more turnovers maybe in the second half than there have been in the first.
I'm glad to see you put your coat on. I thought you might be cracking a little bit.
I think a big factor, too, is the 3 sacks of Roger Staubach by the Eagles. The Eagles team only came in with 23 sacks, and they hadn't done any in the last 3 games. And the fact that they can put pressure on Roger could be a factor if the Cowboys have to continue to throw the ball.
Tex Schramm of the Cowboys has asked us to make an announcement to the effect that if Dallas wins today, they would get that home field location for the playoff game the last weekend of the year. Tickets will be on sale until 7 o'clock tonight at Moody Coliseum and at the Central Ticket Agency in Fort Worth. That'll be the 7 tonight. By the way, the same situation would also be in effect if Green Bay loses. They are playing the Bears in Chicago. Conceivably, if Dallas lost both of their games, both of the remaining ones, and Green Bay won them both, Green Bay would be the host team for that playoff weekend.
You're not going to go through the whole playoff contingencies, are you?
I am not even going to try.
I know what the 9th one is.
That's the only one I've got straight.
The toss of the coin, and I want to know whose coin they toss.
They toss a coin to see who tosses the coin.
Jaworski had the misfortune of the first pass play he completed to Harold Carmichael was fumbled and run down in close to set up the first Dallas touchdown. Actually, he was 4 for 6 for 59 yards, a 42-yarder to Carmichael a little bit later in that second period, and he had one intercepted by Benny Barnes.
Might point out one thing about the Eagles and their playoff possibilities. If they lose today, they are still mathematically alive for a playoff spot.
Depending on
oh gosh,
what Atlanta does?
Depending on Atlanta and Washington, who of course are playing today, they could all three wind up with a 9-7 record. And then you get into those total points and all such as that.
That's Carmichael, number 17. 95 games in a row he has caught a pass in, which means that he's played in all of them, which I think is
remarkable.
More remarkable than catching one in every game.
Dick Vermeil.
He lives at the stadium.
There might be better coaches, but there are none who work any harder than he does.
He knows his team is somewhat limited. He tries to keep them in a situation where they can perform as well as they can and not overextend them or ask too much of them, except he makes them work. If they don't want to work, they don't come out of training camp.
Tom Landry, ever the calm one. Somebody said they congratulated us in Dallas the last time we did a game because we didn't say he was the only coach the Cowboys had ever had.
I think Blackie did it.
Yeah.
Blackie Sherritt.
Yeah.
They've also only had one general manager.
That's right.
And one owner. And I guess one personnel director, Mr. Brand.
I guess that's right.
It works.
They had 2 stadiums.
This may be a crazy second half.
Raphael Septien has the ball blow off the tee. That only counts 1 stroke.
It really hurts, though, after you've had a $15 cab ride to get to the ballpark.
Yeah. Septien again has the ball blow off the tee. They say he's a good athlete, and look at that.
How quickly he snatched that up, right?
Septien will try again. And he caught this one pretty well. That's Wilbert Montgomery, who brought one back 99 yards against the Giants. This time he gets to about the 26 and hits a rock. Turnovers. Philadelphia had 3. 2 of them set up the 2 Dallas touchdowns.
And Roger Staubach almost had one, and Tony Dorsett turned that into a first down.
Ron Jaworski with a rifle arm.
Somebody said he could throw it through a car wash, right? It would come out dry.
First down, Philadelphia at their own 26. First play of the second half. Wilbert Montgomery gets the call and gets about 6 or 7. All of a sudden, he appeared in the arms of Charlie Waters and knocked him backwards. Randy White helped out.
Loves to cut back, likes to run inside. I swear if you made him run to the outside, he'd cut back and find somebody to make contact with.
Dallas 14, Philadelphia 7. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at the Vet in Philadelphia. 6-yard gain by Montgomery on first down. What happens in the other games is Mike Hogan has an Eagle first down before he is stopped by Bob Brunig, the leading Cowboy tackler.
Ran a little veer action to the outside, started up inside, and Hogan took it outside. And the one thing Vermeil's been able to do with his offense is keep possession of the ball time-wise, thereby not letting his defense be on the field all the time. He thinks literally stolen 2 or 3 games by doing that.
Guy Brown, a reserve linebacker, and a good one for Dallas, has injured his foot. They're in the process of x-raying that right now. First down, Philadelphia. The fake is to Hogan. The chase is by White. The pass is intended for Montgomery, and Thomas Henderson broke it up.
Boy, Henderson, though, you can give him solo responsibility not only on a running back, and I think that Wilbert ran a 9.600 when he was in college, but Henderson can take your tight end man-to-man and cover him all the way. Now watch how far he comes to make this play. Brunig actually is trying to get out to cover Montgomery, and Henderson makes up all the time as the ball is thrown. He is very quick.
Can he run a 9.500?
They say he can still do it. He tells you maybe he can get a 9.4. Hollywood is not bashful, but he's good.
Had him running back kickoffs one year. In fact, the Super Bowl against Pittsburgh. He almost broke the opening kickoff. 2nd and 10. Jaworski looks to the outside, does a little set two with Too Tall Jones and underthrows. Intended for Charlie Smith, homeboy.
Charlie Smith came down in front of Barnes and tried to make a cut and looked like he was trying to get into second base, you know. It is glazed out there.
Harvey Martin is back in the Dallas lineup. Here he is. Harvey was shaken up in the first half. Got hit in the groin. Got a little upset stomach as a result.
He's a marked man, but that's because he is such a potent factor on defense. That's the reason.
It's tee-off time for the defensive line now on 3rd and 10. No flex now. It's go. For Smith. Good coverage by Aaron Kyle. Intended for Ken Payne. I beg your pardon. I said Charlie Smith. It's Kenny Payne.
I tell you, it's a great play by Aaron Kyle. And you young people, watch how he looks for the ball. Otherwise, he's going to make that contact under it and be called for interference. Watch the play by Kyle, and he keeps looking to find the ball. He's got the receiver pretty well under control. He looked it right in over his helmet. That's an excellent play.
Perfect position. Michel, the kick, hangs a high one in the direction of Butch Johnson. No fair catch. Butch tries to get behind the wall. Cannot. Out of bounds at the 20. Eric Johnson led the Eagles special team. He's done an excellent job, has Eric Johnson on the special team play for Philadelphia. Dallas 14, the Eagles 7. That's the most unique competition, that stuntman competition.
Yeah, you and I do that as a normal course of events, but they do it for money.
It's a regular Saturday night. 1st and 10. At the 21, Dorsett swings wide right. Is taken down by LeMaster. Dallas running attack has been pretty well controlled by this Eagle defense.
Great play by number 51, Reggie Wilkes. Watch the left part of your screen. He's a rookie out of Georgia Tech. The first choice that the Eagles had, which was like a 4th round. Look at Reggie outside. Dorsett, of course, is not like Wilbert. He would rather get outside than perhaps turn it back inside.
Washington, Atlanta, 10-10 now at the half. Tim Mazzetti, who a few weeks ago was working in a bar here in Philadelphia, is now the Falcon kicker. New England 10, Buffalo 10.
Bills are hanging tough.
Tony Hill from Staubach. Johnny Sanders pushed him out of bounds.
Well, the Eagle defense is very, very aggressive. They're almost daring some Dallas people to do things now. You're right behind Clark, the nose man on this passing situation. Bergey's trying to blitz. You can see he's being handled. Ball is right on, but not a lot of yardage. The defense in pretty fair position after the catch.
Only about 5. And another passing down coming up for Dallas. 3rd and 8. Crowd comes alive and encouraging their Eagles. They blitz. They also pick it up. It's for Hill. He's got it. I don't know how.
And Edwards went for the ball and just missed the ball. Hill makes a great catch. Boy, you talk about concentration at the point of it. You're behind the Eagle defense, and Edwards stayed off, knowing that, or thought he had, number 80 pretty well under control. Good blocking up front. Watch this catch. Edwards says, I think I'll take the ball. Hill never took his eyes off of it.
Nothing wrong with the arm that fired that shot.
We've seen Tony Hill make a few incredible catches, but that one was complete concentration. How about him? They traded John Nyland to the Eagles and got a third-round draft choice, and the Cowboys took Tony Hill.
54 yards on that pass completion from Staubach to Tony Hill. Here's Dorsett, and he's in. You control them for so long, and all of a sudden they sting you.
Great block by number 68, Scott.
From 23 yards out, touchdown for Tony Dorsett.
Watch the right part of your screen. Trying to think who got out in front in such good shape. I thought it was Scott. It was Scott. Boy, Dorsett makes touchdown runs look like dummy scrimmage plays.
Herman Edwards is the victim of that block by Scott.
Misdirection. They sent the fullback straight through Laidlaw. Got the guard out clean. It was over.
Raphael Septien makes it 21-7. Dallas over Philadelphia with 11 minutes and 3 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Raphael Septien will kick off for Dallas. We gave you an incorrect score a minute ago. Buffalo 10, New England 7 is correct. We had a 10-10. Line shot to Wilbert Montgomery. Down on a knee to stop it. Montgomery gets back to about the 27. Bruce Heather again on the tackle.
Watch both guards get out, Lawless and Scott. That's Scott to your right, who sort of fakes like the inside play. And now number 66 gets out cleanly too. The inside move by Laidlaw really set up the defensive line that stayed inside, and those two guards did a wipeout job for Tony Dorsett. He owes them a T-bone steak or an enchilada, whichever.
Tony Dorsett, second touchdown of the day. One running, one on the screen pass. First down, Philadelphia. Wilbert Montgomery cuts back and is cut off, but stays on his feet and fights for about 5 before the pursuit by Harvey Martin took him down. Larry Cole has played just about the entire game in place of Jethro Pugh, who has a wrenched knee.
Doesn't look like the same defense without 75 being right there at the left tackle spot, does it?
It really doesn't.
But Larry Cole can play.
They don't suffer a lot with Larry.
Their whole team's that way, though. Somebody
That's
goes
right.
down, and not very many people get hurt for Dallas. They're a very healthy club.
Lead 21-7. Jaworski, the Eagle quarterback, gives again to Montgomery. Wilbert Montgomery almost breaks it. He's out to midfield before Deanie Lewis tripped him up. Montgomery is some runner.
I think Brunig thought he had Wilbert for about a half a yard loss. And again, we've said that he's not the fastest. He's had a 9.600. But watch the quickness and watch how he likes to get back inside. He starts out left. Watch Brunig. He is sure he has him. Wilbert cuts that. Got the strong legs. Uses an official to get away from Cliff Harris.
Eagle first down at midfield. 21-7 Dallas. Montgomery getting a workout and getting worked over by Randy White.
Montgomery had 64 yards before that one, so it's going to be about 64 and a half on 13 carries.
Montgomery closing in on Steve Van Buren's all-time Eagle record. Whoa, what a runner he was.
Nobody was better than Van Buren, you know, and he ran a lot like Wilbert Montgomery. He found people to run over and through.
That's what he's done so far today, nearing 1,100 yards. Outside of Montgomery, the ball is not loose. Randy White trying to pick it up. It's called an incomplete pass. Mike Hegman made the smash on Montgomery, and I mean, he brought it to him, knocked his socks down.
right part of the screen. And again, Hegman's one of those seldom used people for the Cowboys that can play. They're just waiting their chance. Here's Hegman's chance. He beats people's block. And then to watch Randy White trying to pick the ball up was an interesting part of sports, too.
And I'm not kidding you, he did knock his socks down.
The socks dropped. Watch this. Here's the bear trying to get the fish out of that mountain stream.
Fish got away.
He almost killed it.
That's what Jaworski's done so far. Pass attempt number 11 should be coming on third down right here. And the blitz is on. And Jaworski is down and the ball is loose. Cowboys have it. Again, the hitter was Mike Hegman.
We talked about quick drops and fast passes when they know you're passing. Look at this. They bring everybody. Safety men, linebackers. And here's Randy to the backside, and the ball is definitely loose.
Hegman made the recovery. Dallas owns the football. Cleveland moves further ahead of the Jets, 20-10 now. Dallas on that fumble recovery by Mike Hegman has a first down at the Eagle 41. They lead 21-7 already as Drew Pearson goes in motion. Trying for more. In the middle of the Dorsett. And again he skates into the Eagles secondary down to the 19. Stopped by Bobby Howard.
What a play by Roger Staubach. He gets big pressure from the nose man, Charlie Johnson, number 65. Watch him right in the center of your screen now. 6'3", 265 out of Colorado. He slips Fitzgerald, gets banged by referee. Now watch this, still makes the effort, and Roger's just going to dump it to 33. It's like pulling the fuse on a 20-second bomb. Berge has the problem. Dupre.
Big problem. The problem gets bigger as the Cowboys have it at the Eagle 20. First and 10. Again, Pearson sprints in motion. Staubach fakes to Dorsett. Blitz was on. Roger got rid of it. Flag is dropped back in the Eagles secondary, intended for Billy Joe Dupree.
The ball is thrown away wisely by Roger Staubach, but I think they're probably going to call interference of some kind.
On Bobby Howard.
Now, is this intentionally grounding so you don't lose yardage? Because here comes Mihalik. It's a very wise quarterback, and he has been that way for a while. Howard had made contact with Dupre, and there's only one flag on the field.
It'll be first and goal, Dallas, at the Eagle 9. Cowboys have a double tight end set up now as Jackie Smith checks in. Roger Staubach is all business. What a gentleman.
12 for 17 for 146 yards, and he's not through.
I imagine if they score here, he'll be through. Scott Laidlaw to about the 5. A lot of short steps before Bill Berge took him down.
The play will be run right at you. You're watching Logan, the tight safety man, get up on there in a short yardage situation. Good fill by Berge. Gets banged around in there, huh?
Laidlaw kept his balance nicely and got 4. To the 5. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at frigid Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. Cowboys are hot, though. Dorsett will have a try to get number 3. Does not quite get there. To about the 1. Johnny Sanders, the first Eagle to hit him. Watch it develop from the end zone.
I was looking at a thing that talked about his record at Pittsburgh. That really doesn't mean anything to us now, but he broke 23 NCAA rushing marks. And he started out at 157 pounds as a freshman and came out at 189 or 90. And man, he's getting better, if anything.
Goes about 95 now. He's bigger than he looks. This is Dorsett we're speaking of.
He's effortless, too. You know, he makes it look rather smooth.
And very quick. Laidlaw, Burr is straight ahead. And the indication so far is that he didn't get in. Tom Landry has already indicated he wants Raphael Septien. Berge and Lemaster led the Eagle defense.
Is he or isn't he? The old invisible line up from the goal line, and evidently they didn't break that pane, huh?
Not according to where they put it.
Yeah,
Staubach wants to go for it. Septien now goes back out. The 30-second clock has 15 seconds left on it as changes take place.
This is when you get either too many men on the field or too few. Everybody starts counting how many we got.
And wisely, Roger Staubach has called a timeout. The Eagles were making changes too. They had put in their kick blocking team.
Looked like scenes from Pearl Harbor. Crews are running everywhere.
Landry doesn't raise his voice too much, but he has a way of getting his point across.
Dorsett's got 54 yards on 13 carries, 2 touchdowns.
The new look will be present in 1979 on the CBS Sports Spectacular. More international events featuring boxing just about every week with top-ranked fighters.
I want to do all those in Italy.
The problem with you going to Italy is you thought you were the main event.
I was.
Sports Spectacular will have a new look. 79. A good look. And now Septien is back. A strange-looking person is holding. It is usually Charlie Waters, but this is Danny White, so look out.
He's 8 of 9 from this distance if Raphael wants to kick it.
It's not Waters holding. Septien hits. It'll be 24-7 Dallas now, as that was